servant leadership. You hear about this all the time. A word I like even more is authenticity. I want to ask you right now to stop caring at all in the moment how much someone likes you or whether or not you are popular, and get focused on being full of character, working your butt off and producing great work, because long term that'll earn you the one thing always better than popularity, which of course is respect. It's not just about you, it's about everyone else. You can give it all you want, letting your wall down just a little bit, but you've got to make them feel comfortable doing it as well. And the way you do that is to notice the unique nature of who they are as an individual and as a professional, so they can see that you see the uniqueness that is them. I like to say it this way. Sometimes leaders, tech people, functional specialists, you've got to realize the obvious. At least it's obvious to me. You are very often standing perched on a pedestal on high. Look at me. Look at me. I know a lot of stuff. See the promotion? Lots of knowledge. Ask me a question. I will tell you the answer. And I love reminding people of the obvious because it eludes us every day. You have got to get down off of that ridiculous pedestal. Meet people where they are, at their level, and start to see what they're doing, not just what you want them to know about what you're doing, because only then does real connection ever happen. Man, we love to act. We put on a show every day when we show up at work. We manage impressions. We try to act like a good professional. Hear me carefully. That makes you smart, but we act too much, and the result is that we are a safe, professional version of ourselves that leaves so much potential on the table, it's unbelievable. I want you to start thinking deeper. I want you to start thinking about authenticity and how to relate to people in your professional life a little more realistically. Lower the wall just a little. Let someone human you out, not just the professional. It's hilarious how much people like to relate to humans. We crave connection every day, and we don't get much. And it doesn't have to be that way. I walked into the classroom that day, and I was wearing an expensive tailored sport coat. Very expensive, very nice, looking spiffy. Why? My boss ripped me up one side and down the other so many years earlier about what it means to manage impressions correctly, to meet client expectations, to be socially intelligent, and I listened. And so I started wearing this thing no matter where I went, even with my blue jeans. I walk into class, and we had a blast. No doubt they took me seriously, partially because I looked the part. But if you've got friends from back in high school, you cannot posture in front of them. You have to be honest. And I liked that. And I walked in. Her name was Amy. I saw her. And we hugged like old friends hug. And so I went ahead and asked her. We're close enough. We're just frank. I said, "What's your advice?" And she said, "Well, listen, I think you should take off that overpriced stuffy jacket you're wearing, intentionally roll up your sleeves, and show your ink." And I thought that sounded a little ridiculous and scary given what I knew about corporate America. And I told her that, and she said, no, listen, this will work. And I said, why? She goes, don't ever forget this. Don't ever forget this. People like real. And here's the thing. It's a reciprocal process with others, which means you got to get a little more real if you want others to loosen up, do the same, so you can build trust and make candid conversations happen, which is always the foundation of innovation, authenticity. And I want to encourage you to start thinking right now about what your version of authenticity might look like. It may or may not have anything to do with tattoos, I don't care. Even though I know the age range in here and how many people probably have some ink, I'm not really talking about ink when I say show your ink. It's just a way of hooking people's minds open so they'll think about authenticity and real connection inside a relationship. But I will ask, because I'm curious, how many people have at least one tattoo? Look at that, room full of heathens, okay. I admit it, going authentic like guys like me preach, yeah, it's not risk-free, I admit it. Toe in the water first, you don't come out and tell them weird things day one, okay. But you've got to put that toe in the water, and because risks are present, I want to remind you about something profound that too many people have forgotten about because we're so busy every day. Glass half full, silver lining, that is not pop psychology. That is great science that you should cling to, because if you're going to bring others with you on this journey, man, you're going to have to find a few silver linings to share with them, because things don't always go your way. My dad taught me that. My dad. You got to learn to get over yourself. That's what it means to get off of that pedestal. Now, I don't know what it is that you're not seeing. I'll guarantee you it's there. Until you hop off that pedestal, you're not likely to see it, thus you won't be able to use it. What we know about building great relationships and careers is that mostly it doesn't cost much money. It just requires some introspection and some effort to get over ourselves and start caring a little bit more about every other person around us. Oh, by the way, it's free. It doesn't cost a dime. You're welcome. If you can remember nothing else from today, remember what my friend taught me at lunch all those years ago when she looked right at me without hesitating and said, people like real, which is why I remind you to show your ink. Thank you.